How'd you get that much poop all over you already?
Well, I thought of that as I was walking back to shut the gates on the trailer, that there was wet spots all over me, and I was like, I guess I was just in the right place at the right time. Good morning, y'all. It's currently a Friday for me here in Central Texas, and today's going to be a pretty good day. I hope everything goes good, but I've got some cattle coming in this morning, some steers that I'm buying from my uncle to put into our feedlot program. He raises high quality Angus cattle, runs 44 farms, Angus bulls on them. He normally sells his cattle to the Prime Pursuits program, but this year his calves were, I think, maybe a little bit, instead of all kind of coming as close as he normally likes them to come, they were a little spread out this year, so it was going to be a hassle to get them over there the way he would normally like. So he knew I was looking for some cattle to put in the feedlot, and he's like, hey, you want to just buy mine? I'm like, absolutely. So I'm going to walk you through that process today. These calves, if I remember correct from mine and his conversation, have had at least one round of vaccinations and maybe two. The grass has grown up on my gate. So when they get here, I'll find out for sure. But they haven't been weaned. And if you don't know what weaned means, it means they've, like right now, they're pinning them and taking them off of their moms. And then, so they're going to want to ball for, a few days, walk some fences and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is, rather than just putting them straight in here into the feedlot, which I could do, but I want to give them just a little bit of chance to relax. We're probably going to have to run them through and work them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my skid steer. I'm going to grab this Mohr Shade right here, no pun intended, and I'm going to take it up to my receiving pens up there, because I don't have any shade up there, and I'm going to set it in the lots in there. That way these steers can have some shade for the next few days. Now, one thing about these steers is they've already been castrated. Like I said, they've had one round of shots, and they're going to do good. I mean, he's got the genetics for them to perform good, so that's good. And I'm going to explain to you the way we're buying them. Here, let me set you over here on my shade. So I'm going to buy these steers. We worked out a deal, and here's what we did. So we took a reputable sale barn here that's within driving distance of us, where he might have sold his calves or might not, and we looked at last week's sale, and he thinks these cattle are going to weigh between 700 and 7.25, so 725. And we looked at the sale, and the cattle at that sale last week that weighed between 700 and 800 pounds brought between, I think it was $3.20 to $3.45. So normal thinking would be a 700 pounder brought $3.45 a pound, and an 800 pounder would have brought $3.19 or 20 cents a pound. So what we would normally do, or what I would like to have done, would have been to go through there and said, okay, let's divide that out and figure out how much per pound that would be in that 100-pound gap for that 26 cents of gap there. And then we'll just spread that out across. So if they weigh 725, well, I'll pay this much. But he said, hey, I want $3.45 a pound. You know what? For cattle that are already castrated, he's going to deliver them to me here at the ranch. They've already had at least one round of shots, maybe two. I know the genetics on them. They're not going through a sale barn and picking up any other diseases or anything from being around commingled with all those other cattle from, 50 or 60 different places, or maybe even more. I'm willing to pay a little bit of a premium. Now, could I maybe have bought them cheaper if I'd have went to a sale? Yes, I could buy them cheaper, but I also have to keep in mind that they're going to be exposed to all that stuff that I don't necessarily want them exposed to, like pneumonia and all the different diseases that go through those sale barns. They're also going to be super stressed out from being up there for a day or two and then getting run through the sale barn, all that kind of stuff. I mean, even a sale barn that handles them absolutely correctly, like most of the ones around us do, they're still going to be stressed, and that's going to affect their health and their performance. So, you know, them just pinning them, pulling them off their mamas and hauling them over here is going to be a little less stressful than running them through the sale barn. The next advantage for me is I absolutely know the genetics on these cattle. I know how they're going to perform or what their potential to perform is. So buying stuff through the sale barn, you don't always know that. So that's one of the advantages to buying from a known breeder, I guess, so to speak. For him, is he getting a premium? Yes, but who knows? They might have, you know, if they ran them through as a deal, say there's 20 of them, somebody might have been, like me, might have been looking for them. That, you know, the sale will talk them up and say, well, these are from, you know, such and such ranch. They're out of such and such bulls, these kind of cows, blah, 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 blah. They talk them up. Somebody that just needs 15 or 20 like I do might pay more for them than somebody that needs, you know, 200 or 300 of them, because they're like, well, we'll buy some of these other ones that are a little bit cheaper. And he's saving a little bit of money because he's not having to pay the commission at the sale barn. He's not having to drive near as far to get to the sales that we use around here. So it's a win-win for both of us, is what I'm trying to say. But if we sit here and talk all day, we won't get nothing done. So let's go get this shade moved. Well, y'all, I've still got Erica's 4th of July decorations in my skid steer, and it's probably about time to take them out. They're kind of, not that I don't have any patriotic spirit except on the 4th of July, it's just, you know, they're just kind of flopping around on me. Get a little air moving in here. This one's completely shut off because of this. There we go. Yeah, I'd get some of that out of here, but let's go load this shade up. I'm going to take that shade up there, and then I told my uncle we probably want to close that. That'll maybe a little bit loud when y'all are in there. I told my uncle to give me a holler when he got close, and I'd go meet him over at the scales. That way I could show y'all that. We'll try to get there before them, get y'all set up in the scale house, see them pull over and everything. Pretty rough back here from all that rain we've had, coming back and forth in here to fix the water gap and stuff. It's got this old ground pretty rough. So, oh, here come the sheepdogs from patrol. Back over here behind the feedlot on the neighbor's place, there's a bunch of hogs, wild hogs that live back there, and the sheepdogs keep them run off our place. They run them every night, it seems like. I don't think our pallet forks are going to be wide enough. I'm going to have to probably jump out. Spread them out a little. Yeah, I need to move them both over about 3 or 4 inches. Okay. I'm going to impale myself on this flag right here one of these days, trying to get on and off stuff. One thing I will say, as much as we use these pallet forks, if I ever get another set, I'm going to get the ones that adjust hydraulically, because it seems like we're always off moving forks. And it just seems like a waste of time to be off your machine moving forks. Slide on over, thing. Probably put a little grease on that and it'd help, huh? I'm gonna move that one back over just a little bit, maybe try to stay a little closer to the middle. That's all right. miles away there. Maybe not. So the neat thing about these shades is I've got two different ones y'all can see here. This one right here, maybe y'all can't see the other one, we'll see it in a minute. It just, you can collapse it, like fold the umbrella down and fold it over, and then it'll be kind of sitting at not quite a 45, a little bit less than a 45, and you can move it that way. Or the other one I have over there, let's see. This other one I have over here, it raises and lowers. I can raise and lower that umbrella to different heights. So, you know, I can drop it down 5 or 6 foot and put it real low to the ground, or I can leave it up high. This has made it through all the high winds. Neither of these have ever torn up. I've had them nearly 2 years. Excellent. A great option for shade if you don't have shade. But let's pick this one up. Hopefully it ain't too muddy under here when we get ready to go. This is about all my machine really wants to try to pick up, and I mean, picking it up is no problem, but driving with it, I feel a little bit of rock. But I mean, like I said, that thing weighs nearly 4,000 pounds, and you can see the shade out there. It's throwing on. I mean, it's up in the air. Oh man, let me think here. Can I even get out of here? It's 17 by 17, the umbrella part. Pay attention where I go through how I get around, so I don't pull out an electric line. There we go. Alright, we'll get back on when we get up there. Okay guys, so I've got the shade set up here. It's directly in front of me, and you can see the shadow it's casting there over there towards that fence. So it's currently at my house right now. It is 9 a.m. So from 9 a.m. that's going to be sitting inside this pen. And I would assume by the time I like the way that's setting. By this evening, when it's probably 5 or 6 o'clock, it should be casting shadow over here towards this water trough. So for the majority of the day, these cattle should have shade in their pen right here with them. So that's what we're trying to accomplish, right? Is keep them shaded and feeling good, because if they got some shade, they're gonna feel just like us. If we go to a water park or something, we want some shade. We don't want to just be, I ain't gonna try to get my camera set up. We don't want to just be sitting out in the hot sun. You know, if you're hot, you don't want to eat. You might want to get your drinks. You don't usually want to eat. So we got a little housekeeping to do up here. I need to move some of these hay feeders around. I think I can get y'all a pretty decent view out there. There we go. So I've got this hay feeder and this one over here. I'm going to put a couple of bales of hay in here, but I don't really like where they're at right now, because as that shade comes across, I don't want them under the shade. I want them where the cattle can get in the shade and not have to worry about standing around a hay feeder. So we're gonna see if we can pick these guys up. Not if, I mean we're gonna pick them up and move them. I think I'm just gonna move this one right over to here maybe. Let's see. We're gonna come in from over yonder, put that on there. Thinking about right there is a good spot for this one. And this big one for Matt over here. I think we'll just move it over. You know, it's probably all right. There's room for them to get into the back of the feed bunk there. There's room for them to get over there to the feed bunk, no problem. If anything, I might just turn it just a little bit. This one's built on skids, so we can just maybe about right there. How's that look? Like that a little bit better. Alright, then here we've got salt with garlic in it, that way to help prevent flies. I had one of them other feed bunks up here. I don't need those ones that are in the sheep pens. I ought to bring them up here, line them up. It's a little, the ones that I have for the sheep that we don't really even use for the sheep, it's a lot easier to hit that feed bunk with the mixer than it is these. You gotta be in just the right spot, or you throw it over these. So I'm going to grab these and take them out and bring my other ones up here, I believe. I got a little time. They were still working on getting those steers pinned, so they're not here with them yet. So we'll just grab these guys, set them out of the way. These feeders I built a long time ago to feed out of, and then just some old leftover pipeline pipe, and they do all right, but they're not the best in the world. But they did exactly what I needed them to when I needed them to do it. When I built them, it was mainly so you could just drive up to them and dump feed in them with like a feed sack, not running it out of a feed truck or anything, or a feed mixer. So my plan is to bring unload the cattle here at the lots, then throw in, shut them up in here for a couple days, maybe a week. But every day I'm going to come up here and feed them a little bit, and we'll probably work them tomorrow, or maybe this. I don't think we'll get them done this afternoon. I got too many other irons in the fire this afternoon. But if we get them, once we get them worked, I'll sort them according to weight, and I'll have, maybe 8 or 10 that'll be ready to go in a couple of weeks. We'll probably pull a couple out for Clancy's commercial steer project. They have their official weigh-in August, like the 15th or 16th, something like that. And then I've got these other cattle that I bought from Richard that we made a video on. I'll sort them out, and so this will give me a total of 37 head, depending on how many my uncle brings. He said maybe 20. So if I've got 37 head, my goal is to get to where I have about 10 steers a month coming out of the feedlot, instead of groups of 20 or so every 6 months. If I can get it set up where I've always got some steers turned out on pasture that are waiting to go in, so that when, hey, today I'm gonna haul these 10 out of the feedlot to the processor, tomorrow I'm gonna sort these 10 off and stick them in the feedlot, and they'll be pre-conditioned and ready to go. So over the next, so basically I need to be buying 10 or 15 head every single month, so that I can put them in the pasture to pre-condition and be ready to go into the feedlot. All right, let's go move some feeders. Well, my uncle just called, or my cousin called and said they got the steers sorted off. 23 of them. They're gonna head this away, so I'm gonna stack these feeders up and leave them here, because I got a little bit of time before they get over to the scales, and then we'll go meet them. But these are some feeders from Superior Steel Sales out of Missouri. Mr. Matt Bales and his fine team up there build these. I'm gonna stack them up. I got a better way to do this for you guys, where maybe y'all can see them. See me stack them, I guess. Try this. Let's see. I'm gonna try to let this thing active track us. Who knows what it'll do or not. Back here, guys. That's why I put these feeders here, so even when it got muddy, they wouldn't stay muddy. The rocks would keep it where the sheep could eat. But that didn't work out right. I wasn't paying attention to my fork placement. Those are stacked up and ready to move. Decision time. It's about 5 miles over here to the scales at the fertilizer plant or store. We all call it the fertilizer plant, but they don't make it there. It's just where they distribute it. But what to drive over there? I mean, I've got Pearl sitting here, which is Mom's truck, so I can't drive it. We got old Daniel. We got the Peterbilt, but probably by the time it gets aired up and all that, my uncle will be over there waiting on me. I can drive my Can-Am over there, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. That's too slow. I got that pickup. What choice would you make? Choose wisely. I'm gonna take Danny. Oh, I could have took this too, huh? The old ranch rolls. Heck, it'd take 45 minutes to get it rolling. But Danny, hopefully a pump or two on the old gas pedal, accelerator, and then come on, baby. There we go. Well, guys, we got here just in time. My uncle just pulled up over here, so he's going to pull on the scales here. I don't know if we can see this in here or not, but can y'all see that maybe? I know it's hard. I don't know how to get my hand over it where you can see it. So he'll get out here in a minute. We'll get the weight ticket and then we'll go unload them. Let's take a look at these steers. Pretty good load on. He just shotgunned them, didn't even cut them. All right, I'm gonna jump in and ride with him because we're gonna come back here and get an empty weight, and then we'll know how many pounds of steers I'm buying from him. And I'll write him a check. He'll go, all right, well, let's get them unloaded. Y'all try to get a count on them when they come out here. Man, I hope I don't get snake bit in here. That'd be terrible. All right, I'm gonna get the gate open over here. Ready? Well, if you got 23, you counted right. Go shut these. Well, guys, we made it back. We're going to put this guy in here. We're going to run it up to the empty mark. Hit the print button. 20,020 pounds. So our starting weight was 37,180 pounds. Our empty weight was 20,020 pounds. That's a difference of 17,160. Let's check that again. Clear. 37,180. That didn't clear. Where's the clear button? 37,180. 20,020 minus 17,160 pounds divided by 23 head, 746. 23 head, 746 per head. 746 per head. And then the way we're buying these, the way my uncle sold them to me, is we put an 8-cent slide on them, which means forever, if they were weighed 100 pounds more, I would give 8 cents a pound less. If they weighed 100 pounds less than the 725 that we made our agreement on, he would get 8 cents a pound more, because lighter calves bring more than heavier calves. And then for every 25 pounds, they go up or down 2 cents. So these calves weighed average 750, so the price goes from $3.45 a pound to $3.43 a pound, right? So $3.43 a pound, $3.43 a pound, $3.43 a pound times 17,160 pounds equals $58,858.80. 58,858.8.
Now they know why meat's high.
Now you know why beef's high. That's what my Uncle Mike just said. Now you know why beef is so high. And keep in mind that that comes to, if I divide that by 23 head, $2,560 per head. And that's before any feed has gone into them and any processing to get to the final end product of the processed beef. So, and I've still got at least 6 months before I ever see $1 out of them. I've got to keep them alive during all that, and I've got to hope that the market don't fluctuate too much because I'm buying them today. We could have a crash next week, and the value of these steers I just bought today could drop to $2.50 a pound, which means, you know, you'd say you took $1 a head off of $1 a pound off of them. Now these $2,500 steers are $1,400 steers, and I have no control over that. So that's the game we play in the ranching industry. But all right, well, I'm gonna go write him a check and get him gone so he can go buy him a new pickup, I guess. I don't know. Well, we got the cattle unloaded, got to the scales and got them weighed. Everything good there. My uncle got here quicker than I thought he was going to this morning, so I didn't really have my pens set up exactly right. You know, I was in the process of moving feeders up here, and I wanted to put a few bales of hay out, but that didn't happen. So there's a good bit of, there's some Bermuda grass in here. This grass is what we call goose grass here. I don't know what y'all call it in y'all's part of the country, but there's a good bit of that in my lots. Look in here, these things, these were knee deep right here on them, belly deep on them. They've already stomped them down, which that's okay. These pens ain't set up for grazing, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn these calves out right now. After talking with my cousin and my uncle, they've only had one round of shots. They've had one round of Virus Shield 6 and then one round of Vision 7. So I'm gonna have to get some medicine today when I go to town so that I can get them another round of shots put on them. But they're gonna all walk over there to the other pen, so let's let them walk over there and then we'll go back and take a look at them. We'll walk them out. I'm gonna put them over where I put the shade, because there's no shade in these pens. I don't want them getting too hot, and I guess I've got this water trough unhooked. That could have been a disaster. In fact, I know what that is. We stole the float off of that water trough this winter when one in Clancy's commercial steer pen was running over and broke. So, old calves are pretty good. There's some bigger calves in here, like this one right here. He's probably been weaned by his mama for a while. There's going to be a few in here that's still nursing, still sucking. So we're just gonna turn them out. I've got to run to town. Most of y'all know that we own a dry cleaners and a laundromat, and I need to go to town and pay our employees. It's Friday. We cut checks every Friday. So I'm gonna go get them paid, and then I'll come back, put my hay out, and move my feeders up here and put them out a little feed. Okay guys, so we had a little change of plans after I went to town, thought a little bit, and then when I got home and got to looking, the little shade, the 17 by 17 was just not enough. My uncle ended up, originally they were going to bring me 13 or 14 steers, and he called this morning and said, hey, I got 23. And I thought the little shade would be enough, and it probably would, but I brought the big one up here to give them ample, so they got plenty. We also, the boys threw out a couple of round bales of hay for me, and I'm going to feed these steers. Now, I'm not ready to start them like I'm trying to finish them. I just want to keep them filled up and keep them going. So I'm going to give them about 10 pounds a head. So I'm going to put out a couple 100 pounds of feed in here, and I'll do that every day until we get them sorted off and decide what we're going to do. So hopefully we don't let these in and get them all mixed up. You can hear them though. The ones that are missing their mamas are still bawling. So.
Does Punch know you're keeping these out?
Yeah. Don't let them in, Punch. Might want to get on this side.
Clancy was just sitting on the trailer.
I know it.
What you think?
Well, I'm going to shut that gate over there, or Punch can get it.
Put them all in here.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll leave them all over here. You videoing or not?
Yeah.
So guys, this hay right here is kind of a poor quality hay. I bought it. It's last year's hay. It's had a good bit of rain on it. I really bought it just to feed the sheep because they don't have to have a really high quality hay just to, as filler during the winter. But I've got some better hay bought that we're going to pick up next week. It's just been so wet we hadn't been in there to get it. But this little ration I've got mixed is just some Sudan hay similar to this, ground up in the mixer with some corn, and it's about, my finishing ration is 90% whole corn, 10% hay. This is about 80% corn, 20% hay, and I'm just going to feed them about 10 pounds a day per head per day. So just to keep them, basically to teach them how to eat out of these feed bunks and to get them started and kind of supplement them since they're going to have that loss of milk. We've got good clean water right over here to keep them going. I shut them out of this spot over here where the chute's at, just because I don't want them in there wallering around, rubbing on those chute handles and tearing the squeeze chute up. So we'll leave them in here for a few days till they quit balling. Hopefully maybe tomorrow, probably not, but first part of the next week for sure we'll get them all up and vaccinate them, give them all the rest of their shots, second round of shots like I talked about earlier.
You gonna eat that?
Didn't plan on it.
And get them ready to go, get them sorted up, and kind of get us an idea of who's going to go where and when they're going to go in the feedlot. So hope this has been fun and enjoyable. I do want to talk to y'all a little bit about pricing. I'll do that maybe in another video, but till next time, y'all keep ranching, wrenching, and praying. We'll catch y'all later. Yeah, that'll make a lot more shade over here. You want me to put a mic on now, or?
No.
Feeding these a little.
I did when I had them in the lodge, but now I just got them on the grass. Well, guys, through the power of technology,
It's now 17 days later.
it's 17. It's not quite that far, but when I made a deal with my uncle and my cousin to buy their calves from them this year, their steer calves.
Hold on. Wardrobe. No, wardrobe malfunction. Okay, now you can go.
And made a deal with them to buy their steer calves. They were going to come in 2 different sets, and these were not supposed to come until maybe, September or 1st of October. But my uncle said, I think they're big enough. I'm going to go ahead and get mine out of there and get them gone. So he brought me another bunch today. So there's 13 of these steer calves right here. Part of them are my uncle's, part of them are my cousin's. And same set of calves off the same cows and the same bulls as the bunch that it's in the previous part of this video. But they're about 100 pounds behind them. So these today they weighed 648 running across the scales. So these steers right here, they just came off the cow this morning. So we're gonna wean them here. I'm gonna put them over here in this pen with our big Mohr Shade for probably 3 or 4 days at least, just to kind of let them quit balling, let them calm down. We'll feed them a little. We got some hay out for them. and then we'll get them up and we're going to process them, and then I've got a different pasture I'm going to put them in separate from these for right now, is my plan. I may end up just sticking them in there with them, because in the next couple of weeks we're going to get the whole bunch up, sort off the 20 big end of them, put them in the feedlot and get them started on feed, and then the rest we're going to leave on grass and just allow them to grow their frames and get a little more mature before we put them on feed. So hope this video has been informative. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank y'all for joining us. As always, keep ranching, wrenching, and praying. We'll see you later.
How'd you get that much poop all over you already?
Well, I thought of that as I was walking back to shut the gates on the trailer, that there was wet spots all over me, and I was like, I guess I was just in the right place at the right time. But let's turn these boys out. We need Casey to get over here and get in trouble so we can pick up some rocks.
Need what? Oh, yeah. I gotta get it over the
That's good.
sunflowers. Hey.
Oh, really, boy?
Really? Oh, no, they turned and went the right way.